Witch Hazel is an independent comic series about Hazel, a talented witch whose life has come to a halt after dropping out of magic school. The next issue of Witch Hazel will be released worldwide by a professional publisher. Here to talk about it is the comics creator, Colton Fox. Welcome, Colton. Tell me about who Witch Hazel is and why you created her.
So Witch Hazel, she is a young witch that lives in Toronto who tries to pay her rent by doing odd jobs off a supernatural job app. So that leads her into a lot of really messy situations where she'll go to people's homes to solve their problems with magic. She also has roommates Cam and Jack that help her and sometimes cause things to go worse. And then she also has a situationship named Alice, a fellow witch. So there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of romance, magic.
What age group do you see enjoying this series?
That's a hard question to answer. I try to write it for everyone. I like to think of like network TV, like The Office and Seinfeld, where anyone can watch those programs. Adults can pick up on some other jokes, but kids can still be entertained by the situations. So I try to write it for everyone. I was tabling at the Skeleton Park Art Fest last weekend selling Witch Hazels, and I had about a 10 or 11-year-old girl who came up to the table and was like, "I need the new issue." And I was like, "It comes out August." And she went, "Oh," and stormed off. So I'm happy that we got fans like her who do not care about the creators. She just cares about the characters. And that's who we do this for.
You have something really exciting to tell us about the very first issue of Witch Hazel, and that was the award.
Yeah, Sequential Magazine awarded us Best Independent Canadian Comic Series by popular vote. So thank you to the people of Kingston who went out and voted for this to be the best one. We flyered around Kingston as well as in areas of Toronto with a little QR code for people to scan and vote for us. So that was great. We were told they had the most votes of any comic. So that was really exciting to hear.
But you were independent at that point.
Witch Hazel was created by myself and fellow artist Beige Bloom. And we created the comic in 2022. That was when the first issue came out for March Comic Con, and we've been self-publishing it ever since. But then the newest issue is being picked up by a publisher called Silver Sprocket. So the new issue, Witch Hazel Variety Hour, will be hitting stores everywhere August 20th.
So tell me what the challenges are then going from an independent publisher to a professional publisher.
So when you're independently published, you are struggling with a lot of practical things like budget and time. It was really a challenge to put the books out. Luckily for one of our issues, we got a grant. The Awesome Foundation, a local nonprofit, gave us some money as well to help publish the book. So that was really nice of them. And then the Ontario Arts Council, on the recommendation of the Toronto Comic Arts Festival, they also gave us a grant to put out one of our issues. So that was great, but it really speaks to the challenge of having to pay to print these issues, having to distribute them all on your own. And all of that isn't even considering the time and effort to make the comics. So being able to be professionally published by Silver Sprocket was a huge relief because not only were they paying to put the book out for us, but they also allowed us to do things that we never could have done through self-publishing. We have a foil cover, so it'll be nice and shiny. We have a sticker sheet inside the new issue. We have an activity section in the middle, which actually has a coupon that people can cut out if they want to get a discount on Silver Sprocket books. And also just the dimensions, the book will be printed a lot larger than our self-published ones. So really exciting.
Can you tell me about your style?
I've gotten a lot of different definitions. Chaotic, silly, brain rot. That was not a very flattering one. Funny and humorous and whimsical are the more positive ones that I hold close to my heart.
But it is also sequential in the fact that there's a storyline
Oh,
behind
of course, yeah.
everything?
Sometimes comics are referred to as the sequential arts because you are following a sequence of images that tell a story. And then sometimes you can really try to abstract that by putting panels in different orders. I try not to do that too much. I don't want to confuse the readers. But the sequential arts is a fantastic term for the medium and is a lot to play with.
So this new release comes out when?
August 20th, so it'll be hitting stores everywhere. I'd really encourage people to ask their local comic or bookstore to order it for them now, so that way they can be eligible for a pre-order bonus. So if you order today, then a little extra special something will come with the issue.
Will there be time to meet you in person at any of these events coming up once it's released?
Yeah, so we're going to have our book launch in Toronto at the Beguiling, but in Kingston, we're going to be having a wine and cheese and live reading at Novel Ideas. So you'll be able to meet me and Beige Bloom there. We'll be reading the comic, and in the comic, in order to do spells, they have to speak rhymes. So you can see us try to like freestyle rhyme some of those poems, and that should be funny and embarrassing for everyone involved.
You also have something else coming up, and that is a boot camp.
Yeah, so I teach comics. I previously taught them at the Kingston School of Art, and then I began teaching them independently after hours at Minotaur Games and Gifts. So I teach an 8-week comic course, which covers the entire process of creating a comic book from start to finish. And I'll also be teaching workshops through Word Labs, which is a new initiative that's coming to Kingston. And it'll be starting in July.
That's great. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank you
today.
for having me.
You're welcome.